Hello again. Welcome to class 658. 600. Now I need to look. I mean, so high. 658. Welcome. My God, we're going too slowly. When I finished the class yesterday, I said to Marta, Marta, I only covered 9 words in 25 minutes. At this rate, at this pace, we'll never finish these books. And in a few days, I'll have new books here. At this rate, a este paso, a este ritmo, at this rate is a este paso. At this pace, a este ritmo. Aunque pace suene más a paso. But it doesn't matter. At this pace, at this rate, se dice más que rate. At this rate, we'll never finish. But it doesn't matter. Learning English is a never-ending story. It's like the universe. It's infinite. Infinite never stops. I mean, only to count to infinity is impossible, right? It's impossible to count to infinity. Yeah. But I think there's one person who has counted to infinity, but I can't remember his name. Yes. He's an American strong guy. But no, infinite. It's infinite. Learning a language is infinite. You never learn a language, not even your mother tongue. Even when I speak English, I have good moments and less good moments, eloquent moments and less eloquent moments. All right. Okay, let's try to finish, my God, our vocabulary booklet for 2 days with this silly vocabulary booklet. Come on. Compartir is to share. Puedes comparto contigo mis preocupaciones. I'm going to share with you my worries and my concerns. Yeah, I'm really worried. Yeah? What are you worried about? I'm worried about life. It's so precarious and dangerous. I'm worried. So I'm sharing with you my feelings. I'm sharing with you my worries. I'm sharing with you my concerns. To share, compartir, share. Comparte con tu hermanita. Share with your little sister. Come on, Jimmy. Share your toys. Did you share your toys with your sister? Well, see, she was 4 years old. She's 4 years older than her sister. So it's just not the same. If she had been only 2 years older, they would have fights about the toys, probably. Yeah. Now, share your toys. Okay. Desperdiciar, malgastar is to waste. No malgastes tu tiempo. No pierdas el tiempo. Don't waste your time. Do you waste time? I don't waste time. I never waste time. I'm not a time waster. To waste. Waste time son wastes, con esos desechos, desperdicios, wastes. Aguas residuales. Waste treatment. El tratamiento de residuos is waste treatment. Residuos radiactivos de las centrales nucleares. Nuclear plants produce nuclear waste. Nuclear waste. That's the biggest problem with nuclear plants is the waste. Nuclear waste. Yes. But the verb to waste means no hacer un mal uso de. Desperdiciar, despilfarrar, malgastar, cuando es tiempo, perder tiempo en tonterías, that's to waste time. To waste time, to waste money. Yes. Yes, derrochar. To waste money. Do you waste money? Do you waste time? I don't. All right. Truco, trampa, trick. I'm going to play a trick on you. Te voy a gastar una broma de trampa. I'm going to play a trick on you. To play, jugar. To play a trick. I'm going to play a trick on you. In Halloween, we say trick or treat. Now, se ha traducido mal esa expresión aquí. I don't remember how but it's not correctly translated. A treat, viene del verbo tratar, treat, but treat tiene otro significado. Treat means un dulce, una golosina, it's a treat. And a trick is gastarle una broma pesada, mala, to trick somebody. Embaucando, it's a trick. And so the children say, trick or treat. That means, give me something, candy, or sweets or something. Otherwise, if you don't, I'll play a trick on you. All right? That means it's a threat. Trick or treat, trick or treat. And we go to the door. Trick or treat. This is in the United States. Here, it's not common. Here, Halloween is celebrated, but it's not celebrated in the same way. Halloween is for little children. And they dress as skeletons, or they dress as ghosts, they dress as witches, or whatever. And then they go from house to house. Sometimes the mother or father is following from a discreet distance. But when I was a little boy, no. My sister and I went out around the neighborhood from door to door. Ding dong, trick or treat. And when they open the door, we say, trick or treat. and the parents, the mother, the father, always has something next to the door with the candy. And they give them candy. And they say, thank you. And they go to the next house. Trick or treat. And so we go around to about 100 houses, and we get home. Oh, we have all this candy. It's not good for your health, but that's the tradition. Trick or treat. Trick. To play a trick. Tricky, tricky. Tricky means tramposa. Persona tramposa. Persona un poco pícara. It's a tricky person. Richard Nixon was the president of the United States from January 1969 to, I think, May 1974. Now, a lot of people didn't trust him, and they called him Tricky Dick. See, Dick, como Dick Van Dyke, Dick is a diminutive nickname of Richard. So Richard Nixon was called Dick Nixon, and they called him Tricky Dick, el tramposo Ricardito, Tricky Dick. And there were pictures of photographs of Richard Nixon, and under said, would you buy a used car from this man? ¿Comprarías un coche de segunda mano a ese hombre? No, I don't trust him. And he was the only president in the history of the United States to resign, dimitir, lo vimos ayer o antes de ayer, to resign, because of the Watergate scandal. ¿Te suena? Scandal Watergate, okay. I mean, Marta's very young, and so maybe she doesn't. The Watergate scandal in 73 and 74, and he resigned. Yes. He was a good president in many ways. Very good, very intelligent man, but he made some very stupid mistakes. All right. Okay. Truco, trampa, trick. Inconstante, de poca confianza. Unreliable. No te puedes fiar de él porque te deja no responde. He's unreliable. Me fío de él porque no me va a robar, pero cualquier cosa que le encargo lo hace mal. Okay? So he's unreliable. I can't rely on him. Es un caso perdido. I can't rely on him. He's unreliable. Call me. There's a song. Call me irresponsible. Yes, I'm unreliable. Throw in undependable too. I'm irresponsibly mad for you. Llámame irresponsable, inconfiable, o sea, unreliable, y undependable, que es lo mismo. But I'm irresponsablemente loco por ti, dice. I'm, let's see, I don't remember the words. Call me irresponsible. Yes, I'm undependable. Throw in, incluye, tirando dentro. Throw in unreliable too. I'm irresponsibly mad for you. It's a pretty song, eh? That song is from my parents' generation, not from my generation, but it's a good song. Call Me Irresponsible is the name of the song. All right. Unreliable. A person who's unreliable is a person who is not reliable. You cannot rely on that person to do things right. Si quieres que las cosas se hagan bien, hazlo tú. Okay. Which I don't recommend. Eh? If you want to create an empire, you need to delegate. But you need to delegate to good people, which means you need to find good people All right. Virtud, virtue. Virtue. Claro. Carmenchu. Virtue. Virtue, escrito. Virtud. Las siete virtudes cardinales. The 7 cardinal virtues. And the 7 deadly sins. The virtue. Virtuous. Virtuoso. Virtuous. Yes. Caesar's wife not only has to be virtuous, but to appear virtuous as well. You see. Have you heard the expression? La mujer de César. All right. Because Caesar's second wife, there were rumors that she wasn't faithful to Caesar. The rumors. However, Caesar knew that the rumors were not true. She was faithful. But nevertheless, he divorced her. Because it's not only she needs to be virtuous, but she needs to have the appearance as well, you see. And that's very true in many things. It's not the question of what it is, it's the appearance. And people usually don't have time to understand the truth. They don't have time to know the truth. They only have time to see the appearance around the fact, and they don't know. And the appearance could be false. False appearances. All right. Las apariencias engañan, ¿a que sí? Yes. You can't judge the book by the cover. Virtue, 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 virtue. Virtual. Realidad virtual. Virtual. Pero es la constante aquí es la ch. Virtual. Virtue. Virtuous. Virtuoso. Virtuous. Virtual. Virtual. Virtud. Virtue. And finally, cable o alambre. Wire. ¿Cómo se dice fuego? Fire. ¿Cómo se dice contratar personal? Hire. ¿Y alambre? Wire. All right, wire. Wire con W. Wire. A wire es un cable de cobre. A copper wire. You know, the wire. We still need copper wires for electricity. We still need copper wires. Copper is very important. Cobre, copper. What country is the most important producer of copper in the world? Chile. It's true. Chile is the #1 producer of copper for wires and things. All right. You're learning a lot today, not only English. Our famous paragraphs. Paragraph number 151. Are you ready? Do you have the book? Yeah. Do you have the book? All right, okay. Paragraph number 151. How are we on time, Marta? How are we on time? Yes? We have plenty of time. We're going to do maybe 2 paragraphs. I'm speaking about a man. It's not important his name. Ever since he turned 60, he's done less and less work and delegated more and more to his subordinates. He spends most of his time doing crossword puzzles or reading the newspaper. It makes a bad impression when visitors come and see him through the glass panel working on a crossword puzzle. All right. This man, I get the impression, me da la impresión de que, decimos en inglés, tengo la impresión. I get the impression that this man is a manager, not the top manager in the organization, but he's a manager, a functional area, but not the big boss. Why? Because in the last sentence it says, when visitors come and see him through the glass panel. So he has a private office, a personal office, but there's a glass panel and you can see him. You see, what people sometimes call here su pecera, no? He's in his office. Now the big boss is up on the top floor and it's not a glass panel. He has complete privacy. All right, intimidad. Complete privacy. Decimos privacidad. Complete privacy. However, this man is clearly a manager. He's clearly a manager. How do you know he's a manager? Because it says he's done less and less work and delegated more and more to his subordinates. So he has subordinates. So he's a boss. Su jefe. He's a boss. So ever since he turned 60, so he's a veteran boss in the organization. Excuse me? He's a veteran boss. Un jefe veterano, yeah. Okay, he's a veteran boss in the organization. Because he's 60 years old. Well, he's 60 or 61 or 62 or whatever. Because desde que el mismo día en que, ever since he turned 60, cumplió los 60, is to turn, cumplir años, to turn. I'm going to turn, my birthday is in a few days. Ever since he turned 60, he's done less and less work and delegated more and more to his subordinates. Okay. He spends most of his time, most of my time, most of your time. What do you spend most of your time doing? I spend most of my time playing solitaire. Jugando el solitario. Paso horas. I spend most of my time reading. Yes. Maybe. I don't know. I need to analyze my usage of time. But this man works less and less and delegates more and more to his subordinates. And he spends most of his time doing crossword puzzles and reading the newspaper in his office. He's in his office. You can see him because it's a glass panel, The paneling is glass. Panelado. What do you say? Panelado, se dice, no? Okay, the glass panels. So you can see him in his office, and he's either reading the newspaper, yeah, or he's doing crossword puzzles, crucigramas, crossword puzzles. And people walk by his office and they look, and he's doing a crossword puzzle, and he doesn't care. Yeah, un poco de cara, right? He has a lot of nerve, a lot of nervio, tiene mucho nervio. Se dice en inglés, tiene mucha cara. He has a lot of nerve doing crossword puzzles and reading the newspaper during working hours. It makes a bad impression. It makes, causa, en español las impresiones se causan. En inglés se maken. It makes a bad impression when visitors come to the office and see him through the glass panel working on a crossword puzzle. ¿Te imaginas? Can you imagine coming here? And imagine Marta is giving a tour to some visitors. And she says, el gran jefe, el Vaughan. And people walk by and they look in, and I'm doing a crossword puzzle. Well, that happens here. I remember a fellow. No, this is the reason I wrote this paragraph is because I was thinking about Góngora, pero no Luis de Góngora, the poet, the Andalusian poet, the Cordobés, I think he was. Cordobés era Góngora. I was thinking about another Góngora. I'm not going to say his first name, but I remember seeing him often standing in the door frame of his office, his private office, standing, leaning on the frame, apoyado en el marco de su puerta, la puerta de su patio, looking out at the people in his department. And often I saw Góngora doing this, and I said to him, his name, Felipe, no es Felipe, Felipe, ¿qué haces? He said, I'm working. Working? You know you're not working. You're just leaning on the door. I said, no, I'm not, I'm working. I'm a manager. My job is to design the workflow and the process, to delegate the necessary tasks, to choose the right people to do the tasks, and to supervise the correct performance of those tasks. I'm working. He's right. He's right. Because a manager's job isn't necessarily to currar, as you say, to work. The manager's job is to manage. And to manage is gestionar el trabajo. All right? A manager's job, first, number one, and most important, is to recruit top quality people. Number two, to motivate those people. Number three, to provide those people with the indications and the training necessary to do their jobs well. And four, to supervise the results. And five, to reward them properly, compensarles adecuadamente, properly for the success of their job. And that's it. So really the manager, I think my good friend Góngora was completely 100% right on one condition, that everything is going well and it's a productive department, right? Now this man, maybe he's doing crossword puzzles, fine. But if his department is productive. So, ever since he turned 60, he's done less and less work and delegated more and more, cada vez más, cada vez menos, cada vez más, to his subordinates. He spends most of his time doing crossword puzzles, puzzles de cruce palabra, crucigramas. He spends most of his time doing crossword puzzles or reading the newspaper. It makes a bad impression when visitors come and see him through the glass panel doing a crossword puzzle. All right. It's an interesting image. You can imagine a person Okay. Paragraph 152. Do we have time, Marta? Yeah, I think so. All right, I think so. Look. Fastidious. Look, I had 3 children by the time I was 26, and I had to find whatever was available to support my family. Don't think I took this job because I liked it. On the contrary, I had no choice. It was a matter of eating or not. Okay. Well, this person, apparently another person is criticizing the person, or me. Yo asumo el papel aquí. Apparently somebody has criticized me because I'm doing a job that I don't like. He said, Richard, why do you do a job you don't like? And I respond. I said, well, look, mira. I said, look, I had 3 children by the time I was 26. Para cuando cumplía los 26 años ya tenía 3 hijos. Yeah? He's all right. I had 3 children by the time I was 26. And I had to find whatever was available to support my family. Mantener la familia, mi familia. I had to find whatever was available, que hay disponible, whatever was available to support my family. No creas, no pienses. Don't think I took this job because I liked it. No, on the contrary, I had no choice. No tuve elección, no tenía elección. I had no choice. It was a matter of eating or not. All right. So, moral of the story, don't have 3 children by the age of 26. Yeah, don't have children. Well, personally, I admire people who get married young and start a family young. I think it's a good idea, but it's not popular anymore. Things have changed. Will the pendulum go back? Probably not. Especially in the developed world. In a world when the standard of living and the quality of life becomes high, people have fewer children and they start their families later. This is true throughout history. You study history, moments of opulence, and then things start to change. People's behavior change It's interesting, and it affects the size of the family. Look, I had 3 children by the time I was 26, and I had to find whatever was available. Lo que estuviera disponible. Tenía lo que estuviera. Lo que hubiera. I had to find whatever was available to support my family, Don't think I took this job because I liked it, porque me gustara, o que me gustaba. Don't think I took this job because I liked it. On the contrary, I had no choice. It was a matter of eating or not. Era un asunto de comer o no comer. Comer o no comer, ahí la cuestión. That was the question, to be or not to be. That is the question. No, in this case, to eat or not to eat. That is the question. Yeah. But I like this job. I enjoy it. See you tomorrow.